Yo, what's going on? This is Win. You chilling with Root on the radio on the Subway series. BX stand up, you heard?
So what's up?
What's
Who are
going
you?
on?
Like, what do you do? Where you from? Like, talk to me.
They call me Win from the BX, Gun Hill. You already know how I go. MC, microphone controller, wordsmith, whatever you want to call me. I'm just straight manipulator of the written word. You know what I'm saying? All I do is write, rhyme, and spit knowledge and sick bars for the people. That's what I do.
So before I started recording, you were having a conversation about the pertinence of nigga.
Right.
Do you feel like artists using that word, do you feel like it's a crutch? Is it something that they're doing because they don't know any other word, or is it laziness?
I think it could form into any different thing when you think about it. It could be a crutch. You gotta know the artist that you're dealing with. You know what I mean? And I think with raw emotion, when you write in, sometimes you get caught in the emotional. Certain words describe how you feeling. You know, it's like I said, it's a raw thing. You can see in artists though when they're doing a song and they're using it as a crutch because they don't know any other words. It's quite obvious, I think. You just gotta listen to the song. But it can be a crutch, and if you rely on that too much, it could definitely bring down your music and make it not relatable. It could just be like a song without teaching nothing. You know what I mean? So it can be a crutch, but it depends on the artist, I think.
Do you think the N-word being used in hip-hop so heavily is a part of the negative ideals of people of color today?
No, because, I mean, with that whole topic, it could be taken either which way depending on how you want to spit your argument. For me, I say it, I'm not even going to that, but I don't think it's a negative thing. I don't think it brings down. I think though, especially when it comes to hip hop, because it's such a. When you look at where hip hop came from, it was a way for people that were in a fucked up situation to express themselves, so they had no other way of expressing themselves, right? So then when you have people coming in and making a mockery of that, it pisses people off. I think as long as you're getting your point across about why you're here, and you're diligent on that, there's no harm. But you have to look at the messenger, not just the song. You gotta look at the person that's bringing that message and what they're about. You know what I mean? For each person, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? You just gotta respect that situation, I think.
So is it okay for Eminem to use nigga as long as he's giving the right message? So if he did a track and he was talking about 50 Cent, and let's say he was saying 50 Cent ain't shit and dragging him and highlighting a monotony of things that 50 Cent may have done wrong.
Right.
And he was referring to him as a nigga. Is that okay?
No, I don't think it's okay, because that word was used by a group of people to put down another group of people. I do believe in some form a lot of people have taken that word as a form of brotherhood to empower their culture and where they come from and their people. I do believe a lot of people use that word without thinking about it that way. It's literally just a part of their vocabulary. You meet that dude that just every 5 words, blah, 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 they gotta say it, you know what I mean? I don't think it's proper though even though Eminem comes from a humble background, and that's why he's so good at hip hop, I think, is because he comes from suffering. He knows what suffering is about. That's what makes him such a great artist. But I don't think it's appropriate for him to use that word, because he doesn't come still, even though he comes from humble beginnings, he doesn't come from 50 Cent's background. He ain't a black man. The situation is, Eminem might have come from humble beginnings, but if he wants to pick himself up and fix the situation, he can, because he has a leg up because he's white. 50 Cent don't got that. So that's one of my arguments. I would say it's not proper for Eminem to use that word in any rap. I don't think any white person should use that word at all when it comes to rapping.
So I'm gonna ask this last question, then we're gonna get off the N-word.
Right.
How can people of color say that others can't use the word, right? But we find comfortability in using it against each other? Isn't that like a double standard also, right? Hispanic people, Asian people, anybody who's not white, they say nigga comfortable.
Yeah.
There's no second thought.
Right.
But we can't walk around saying, "Oh, what up, my wetback? Oh, what up, my spit? Oh, what up, my slanted eyes?"
Yeah.
Like, so how is it that something that is clearly and evidently a slur for us, how do we make it okay for others to use it, but yet we can't use their slurs?
My intention is not to make it okay for anyone to use that word. I'm not here to make it a comfortable situation for anybody to call me a nigga. I'll say that I got people that are non-black that are my brothers. People that I call my brothers have literally bled for me. And if they refer to me as my nigga, that is my nigga. You know what I mean? So no one's going to take that away. But if they go in another setting, they can't use that word because they're going to get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand, like, I'm not here trying to preach my standpoint on the word and why you should use it or can't use it, because everyone has their agreement. Like, black people have said to me, I don't like that word, so I don't use it around them. You know what I mean? In my head, I'm not here trying to give no loopholes. So yeah, you know, I come from the Bronx. Spanish people use it, Asian people use it, whatever the situation is. I'll tell people straight out, like, if I don't feel comfortable, my man, that's not you. You know what I mean? Or my peoples, No. Go to your peoples and do that. When you're around me, refrain from that. So it's a double standard, just like anything.
It's situational.
And it's all situational. You gotta go by situation. You know what I mean? Do your best not to offend others. I'll never use a racial slur to offend somebody. If you use it against me in defense, though, believe I'm coming back with that lightning. It's all's fair in love and war, right? So I mean,
it's situational.
It's situational. You know what I mean? I'm not starting the convo that way, but I'm gonna end it. Believe that.
So what type of hip-hop artist do you identify as? What do you feel like your message is and your story is that you're trying to deliver?
I look at MCs that I really follow, like that I look up to, is like OGs. Like, you got like Slick Rick.
That's my favorite. I love him. Like, he makes me cry. I'm so in love with him.
Yo,
everything.
Swift. No, Slick Rick. Nas. I like storytellers.
Yes.
I like telling stories. I actually, if you're a good friend of mine, you know I sometimes love to tell nothing but stories the whole night, depending on how many drinks I had. So when it comes to rapping, I love to tell stories. And people have told me the songs that I tell stories they like the most. You know what I mean? So I consider myself a rapper that loves to tell stories, but I love the art form of spitting bars because it's like a kung fu fight. You know, it's like that's what I grew up watching. You hear like the locks spit them, that heat, you know what I mean? Like, so I like to dabble with that. Sometimes I like to mix those two things together. But I think I'm getting to the age of my music that it's fun to do that. But now there's a chance that there's somebody listening to me, and I want to make sure that if I'm giving a message, that it's a clear message of what they should be doing. What got me to start writing was DMX's Darkest Hell's Hot. Right?
Baby.
What got me to channel that energy into what I want to write? Mos Def Black on Both Sides, because I ain't no thug. So I think about that. If it wasn't for Mos Def in that album, I probably wouldn't be standing here spitting. So I think about that when I write stuff, about getting that message across. There might be a youngin' that don't know what to do with this talent he got, and then he might hear me and be like, yo, there's another way. That's what happened to me. You know what I mean? So that's what I try to enforce when I'm doing. Like, I'm very meticulous. I've written lines, I'll go back and read them, and I'm like, that don't really sound like something I would do. That don't even really sound right coming from me. And I'll go back and edit it, and I'll take it out of my track. It don't make sense. So I look at it that way when I'm making my music. I try and make as much sense because I got my crew. There's no yes men. So if they hear my shit and they're like, yo, Win, really? You know what I mean? They're gonna call me out on that. You know what I mean? So I try to think about things like that when I'm writing. Try to keep true to myself, true to my family, true to people that are gonna listen to my music and spread the word.
I'll take that. What do you feel about the current state of hip hop? Like, with all the littles, the little Uzis, the little Bibbies, the little everybody.
I like Lil Bibby. Lil Bibby fire. Lil Bibby go fucking.
He goes hard.
Put respect on that man's name. I'll say this actually. I've spoken to a lot of people about this, and I look at it this way. In the early '90s, when they were looking at hip hop, the reason why people shitted on it because they saw black faces. Right? So they're seeing black people making music. They don't look at it as art. They're looking at like black people spitting hate and talking about shooting people and selling drugs, this and that, third. And you gotta look, this is where people's environment, this is where they're coming from. This is the message they're trying to tell people, like, this shit is crazy where I'm coming from. I'm trying to get out. This is my way of getting out. I think if we look at everything that comes out and then we see like, oh, the dude got Lil on this thing, I ain't gonna give it. You're doing the same thing that they did to us when we first started coming out, not even giving it a chance. I'll give shit a chance. I'll listen to what's coming out. There's a lot of people right now, they call it the mumble shit and they're not liking. Hip hop is a growing, it's artificial intelligence. It's still gonna keep going without us. It don't need us at this point. True. People coming in and spitting what they spitting, give it a chance. Listen to, you might, there's some motherfuckers out there that I was about to say it. There's some motherfuckers out there that just because they have a little or they got like a dread that's colored a funny way, people don't give them the chance. They're gonna spit that heat. You know what I mean? Just because they think about it, if you heard Lil Bibby, like, nah, I ain't gonna listen to that. You didn't even get that chance. That
I'm not gonna hold you. That's what I said at first.
That boy go
and
hard.
And then I was like, you know what? Let me sit my ass down and listen to a Lil Bibby.
Man,
Lil Bibby is a beast.
Lil Bibby go hard.
He's a beast.
You know what I mean? Like, even Lil Yachty got a couple of tracks when you messing with them EDM dudes I fuck with. You gotta listen to music what it's meant for. You know what I mean? That music is meant for turning up.
But do you think that hip hop is still the vehicle that it was intended to be, or is it just used as a cash cow now?
It's definitely used as a cash cow. What isn't? There's so many different forms of things that use as a cash cow. But they definitely didn't think it was gonna be this. That's 100%. But it mixes in with the respect value. What doesn't help, I'll say this, what doesn't help the new generation is when people come up to them and say, yo man, what's your favorite Biggie album? And people come out, who Biggie? That's just fucking nonsense. Like, hip hop is a religion. You can't come in here talking about you a preacher and you ain't even studied the Bible yet. You know what I mean? Get your shit right. Don't ask for respect if you're not going to do the proper things to gain that respect.
I think that's my issue. I think my issue with hip hop right now is that there's so many of these artists who are notable that people know, and they don't know shit about hip hop. They don't know how it started. They don't know why it started, and they can't decipher the difference between rap and hip hop, not understanding that rap is a segment of hip hop.
Because when gangster rap came out, a lot of it wasn't hip hop at all. It was just motherfuckers talking about, I'm going to shoot you in your face and then go to the corner and sell this crap. And they would do it in this specific way that was really dope. Some of it was hip hop, like Gangstar, that's hip hop. Then you have like Biggie. His delivery was hip hop.
I'm gonna kick in the doorway, bend the 4-4.
You know what I mean?
Like
that was rap. That was, you know what I mean? Hip hop is the umbrella. Then you have the tree, and then you have different branches. You got rap. You got, I don't know if they want to call it mumble rap, but since nobody else is giving it another name, we're gonna call it mumble rap, trash heat, whatever you want to call it. Like, it's an ever growing thing. I'm not gonna you know what, motherfuckers is out here making money off child slavery and all kinds of crazy shit. I'm not gonna deny another dude making money making music or doing whatever he's doing. Just show respect, because if you want that respect, you gotta earn it. Nothing in this world is given, especially respect. You know what I mean? Especially when I spend all this time crafting my bars and my delivery and sitting there reading my shit before I go to the studio, talking about how I'm gonna breathe on this. That respect it. That's all it is. Just fucking respect it.
I respect you for thinking and considering how you're going to breathe.
Yeah, that's important. That's something I never used to think about. And then I used to hear the difference in my song. I hear the difference in my songs I recorded like 3 years ago to now, just off of my breathing, just off of memorizing lines in there, then jumping. Like, this ain't no fucking joke. I take this shit so seriously. I get kind of heated sometimes. Hip hop saved my life. Cause if it wasn't for hip hop, right, I ain't saying I'll be on the corner and nothing like that, but I'll be fucking miserable. I'll be the most depressed dude in the world. I love this shit. You know, I eat, sleep, and breathe this shit. You can't. I'm from the Bronx, man. Stop. Yo, what's going on? You can find me do that again. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, win._, or check the website fromthebronx.win, all spelled out, correct spelling, no duh, it's the thebronx.win. Get my last project, Paces EP, get my Twitter, my booking contact, all that stuff off the website, fromthebronx.win. And new projects coming out in October. Not gonna tell you the name yet, but I will be performing some new heat, for the last quarter, some new shit for y'all. So y'all gonna see what's going on. Gun Hill, baby.